Aloha mai kako. As a reminder, there are 6 phyla of invertebrates in Hawaii that I'm reviewing in my videos. Those 6 phyla are cnidarians, mollusks, arthropods, annelids, echinoderms, and poriferans. In this video I'll explore the phylum Porifera, the sponges, a simple invertebrate animal that lives mostly in ocean aquatic environments. The sponges I'm talking about don't look like this. They also don't look like this. So what are sponges? The phylum name Porifera means pore bearers. Sponges have many pores called ostia that they use to filter water for food and oxygen. The body may be many shapes and can even be radially symmetrical like the golf ball sponge. They don't move and are permanently attached to the rocks or other substrate. That can include attachment to algae or even roots of mangrove trees. They have tiny structures made of silica called spicules that provide structure to the sponge. They have no arms, they have no legs, they have no eyes. They don't have anything that even resembles any sensory organ or appendage. And when we think of the term animals, we usually don't think of sponges. I forgot though, there is one species of sponge that has more traditional animal-like features and is probably the world's most famous sponge. You probably guessed it, it's SpongeBob. In reality, most sponges are small and go unnoticed, even though they can be very colorful and sometimes have very distinctive shapes. How often have you or a friend been snorkeling on a beautiful Hawaii reef and post photos of sponges on social media? Not very often. But hopefully, after this video, you'll start looking for these fascinating animals. There are around 8,000 species of sponges. Here are some of the examples of sponges found in the ocean around Oahu. Check out the different colors and shapes and look at the different substrates that they are attached to. But not all sponges are small or discoverable by snorkelers. Recently, while exploring the deep ocean in Papahanaumokuakea, the northwest Hawaiian Islands marine sanctuary, scientists discovered a sponge the size of a minivan and at a depth of 7,000 feet. This rare sponge, with a bluish-white color and brain-like appearance, stunned scientists when it appeared in the remote cameras attached to their underwater rover. Sponges are considered to be one of the simplest animals, but they perform complex and important duties on our reefs. Marine sponges were known to the native Hawaiians as huahuakai, which means foam of the sea. Native Hawaiians understood the importance of all marine resources available to them and took great care to protect and conserve those resources for future generations. They discovered that some species of marine sponges contain powerful medicinal properties that could cure and or relieve certain ailments. We now know that marine sponges host a large diversity of microorganisms living in harmony with the sponge. And because of these microorganisms, sponges are an important source of natural products and medicines. Thanks to scientific research, sponges have been found to be highly complex and ecologically important in all coral reef ecosystems around the world. Maybe their most important function is they filter large amounts of seawater and remove material other animals in the ocean don't eat. Actually, sponges win the gold medal on our reefs for the highest volume of water filtered by a single animal. Sponges can filter 1,000 liters of water for each kilogram of their own mass each day. And that is a lot of water. So think about this. The average 12-year-old boy weighs 40 kilograms. That average 12-year-old boy would have to filter 40,000 liters of water to match the sponge's pumping power. In general, sponges are not eaten by other organisms. They contain toxins, and possibly their spicular structures may make them unpleasant to eat. However, the hawksbill sea turtle and some nudibranchs are known to eat sponges, and there are a few fish species that eat sponges. Important to Hawaii's reefs is that the Hawaiian tiger cowrie, Lehokiko, is a voracious predator of alien sponges such as the orange keyhole sponge. The orange keyhole sponge can overgrow native corals and has become a concern as it spreads across reefs and Kaneohe Bay. Our very own Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology found that each cowrie eats more than half its body weight in sponges every week. If you're interested in the fascinating world of sponges, I would suggest you do the following. First, the next time you go snorkeling on a Hawaii reef, look for the sponges. Try to explore beyond the fish and vertebrates that usually command our attention. Where do the sponges live? At what depth? And what lives around them? Second, keep track of all the research being done at the Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology. There's some really exciting research being done with identifying how many species of sponge exist in Hawaii, and which one of those are endemic, native, or introduced species. This is done not only with traditional methods of observation, but with genetic and DNA sampling of the waters surrounding the reefs in Kaneohe Bay. And third, and of course I mentioned this before, the book Hawaii's Sea Creatures is a great resource for all the invertebrates living in our Hawaiian waters. Fourth, and finally, I'd like to give a shout out to Keoki Stender for giving me permission to use the invertebrate photos from his website. Most of the sponge photos you have seen in this video were taken by Keoki at many different locations around Oahu. So if you want to see beautiful photographs from ocean environments all around the globe, please visit Keoki's website, marinelifephotography.com. Mahalo mai ka kou, e ku pa'a me ka aloha I ka aina.